Hi friends. So the Frenemy, and I gotta tell you, this one was actually really hard for me to push the record button on, because we tend to look at Facebook and we see everybody's picture perfect life and everything looks great, and it's one of the things that I love about Facebook, because I get to see all of the highlights of everybody's life and I get to see them doing the things that they enjoy the most. But what I don't get to see, and why it was hard for me to push the record button on this one, is when things aren't going good, especially in the industry that I'm in. You know, public speaking and teaching people how to maximize and make the most out of traumas and tragedies and crisis, and, you know, communication skills and things like that. And this week was a big week for me. Yesterday was my 7-year anniversary since losing my arm, which was always a big, exciting day for me. Hi guys, thank you for joining on, sharing stuff about frenemies. So yeah, real is the best, Patricia, that's for sure. So 7 years since I lost my arm, but there's another anniversary, and that's that a year ago I came back from the Paralympics and decided not to shoot archery and to start this business and to start doing public speaking and things like that, and sharing the wisdom and knowledge and experience that I've gained, hard-earned gained. And so a year ago I spoke at Women Ignite, and I decided that I was going to create and attract this amazing, am I still right-toothed? Wendell wants to ask. Yes, I still shoot right-toothed. So I decided that I was going to create this amazing tribe of women that would push me, because you do become like the 5 people that you hang around the most. So I attracted amazing women, you know, Shelley Gartman and Jennifer Quinn, and just so many from this Women Ignite. And I started, this frenemy shows up. And we've all got a frenemy, right? The friend that's the enemy. And she's absolutely awful, and I don't enjoy her at all. And I actually allowed her to spend too much time with me. Any time at all is too much. And her little nagging voice of comparing me to my other friends, like, because this group of women have really made an impact on the world, and they're doing all of these amazing things. And she started comparing me to, well, you know, you haven't hardly accomplished anything this year. I mean, and just started planting those seeds of doubt and insecurity. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I should have just shut her down instantly. You know, instantly. But I didn't. I allowed her more time, and I ended up eventually kind of, it's a slow fade. I gave her more and more time, more and more space on my platform. And the past couple of weeks, I have just been beating myself up, going, wow, I just haven't accomplished anything that I wanted to accomplish this year. And I finally I was getting really depressed. And that's what you don't see on Facebook. People don't put that when they're depressed and upset, you know, and feeling really insecure. And I was talking to a friend of mine today, we're going through this, and she's like, oh my God, Sam, I'm going through the same thing. You know, Tony Robbins he says that we tend to overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what we can accomplish in 5. And she's like, yeah, I was looking over past year and thinking I haven't accomplished anything. And so what I had to do was absolutely just shut that frenemy's voice down. And you know why it's hard? Because that frenemy was me. It was me letting all of those negative voices, all of those negative messages take space in my head. And instead of shutting them down and stepping back and going, no, wait a second, you know what, I don't think this is true, which is what I actually had to do. I had to actually, like, physically step out of my body, look down on myself and go, all right, let's look at who I was a year ago, and let's look at what I'm doing now. You know, I've been able to speak and impact thousands of people this year. I've created 14 hours of content that I train the Air Force on, and I use for nonprofits and other organizations. You know, I'm teaching people communication skills and speaking skills, and I'm really just loving the development of my business. And I'm doing these Facebook Lives. I mean, getting out there and sharing all your ugly to thousands of people or hundreds of people, or even just the 11 lovely people that are on here right now. You guys are valuable to me, and I appreciate that you tune in and we get to share each other's strengths and weaknesses. So once I did that and I stepped back and I had to look at myself through kind of somebody else's eyes and shut that frenemy voice of my own in my head down, then I was able to see, wow, okay, you know what? A year ago, I wouldn't have done this on Facebook Live. Wouldn't have done it. I would have been too insecure and too shy and thinking that people would judge me. And the more I share things like this, the more people go, oh my God, me too. You know, the me toos. Because none of us are alone at all in our insecurities and our fears. So when that frenemy voice shows up, guys, shut it down. And if you have to step outside of your body and get a real look at what your life is, because that internal voice, that internal negativity, guys, negativity is like Velcro to the brain. It sticks. And positivity is like Teflon. It just seems to roll right off. So we have to be very, very intentional. It wasn't until I got intentional again at looking at myself and my accomplishments did I come out of that funk. And it was a really kind of an ugly funk. I didn't like it. So the neat thing is that I identified it in time. I identified it that it was myself that was doing it. But my question to you guys is do you have physical flesh and blood friends that are like that? Yes, Jim, you're right. The inner voice is a big fat liar. It's somebody else's lies that you're choosing to believe. So the question is, do you have flesh and blood people like that in your life right now? That are constantly either putting you down or questioning your ability to do the goals that you have set, or that your goals are too lofty, or who do you think you are, or that's stupid, we're not that type of person, you know. Do you have people like that? Because if people are either a positive or a negative, there's very, very few people in our life that are neutrals. So I'd like to challenge you to write down the top 5 people that you hang around with in your business, in your social circles, in your clubs, at, you know, wherever you spend your time. Write down your top 5 and write their name down, and then write a plus or negative next to their name. And if they're a negative, it's because they're not feeding your dreams. They're sucking the life out of you. And then work on cutting those people out of your life, just like Carlos has done. That's right. He says not anymore. He doesn't have any negative people in his more, because I know Carlos, and he's very intentional about who he spends his time with. Because guys, you can't have a positive, happy life if you're hanging around negative downers at all. I mean, if you don't want to smell like poop, don't get in the pen with the pigs. I know it seems crass, but there's just no way to stay neutral. There's no way to stay moving forward, and there's no way to stay positive if you are around people that are constantly dragging you down. And it can be, well, here's like a good analogy. When you're dating and somebody is like not a good fit, what do? We break up. Like, oh, you're negative minded, you're sarcastic, you're rude to people. We just like cut the relationship off. We don't progress in it, right? Why don't we do that with our friends? Why do we keep people in our friends circle that are negative and aren't positive for us? So try looking at your friends now as if it was a dating relationship. And are they good for you? Is that something that you really want to keep hanging around? So let's see. Patricia says, no, I had one person being critical and let her know. She felt bad. I don't think she was aware. That's another good thing, Patricia. Some people don't understand how they're coming across. So really, really great point. Thank you for adding that in. And I did this after my accident. There were people, I was like, listen, I'm making changes in my life, and I don't think that this is really a good fit. Some of the ways that you're thinking are just not supporting where I want to go with my life. What? Hey! I'm still there. Okay. Not supporting where I want to go with my life. And very few people made changes. And some of them were just like offended, that I would be offended that I didn't want to be around them. And even though I gave them the reasons. So those were easy let-goes, easy breakups. But you're right, Patricia, always being honest and in integrity with them as to why is just it's more mature. It's just more respectful. And I think it's a good habit to get into. So that's my challenge to you guys. Get rid of that frenemy in your own head as soon as he or she pops up, because it's just toxic and it'll take you down a really crappy road you don't want to go. When you're thinking that you're not accomplishing the goals that you want to accomplish, step out of yourself and look at your life from new, fresh eyes And you will be amazed at how much progress and growth that you have actually accomplished. And you can get a fresh back. It gives you a really good way to go, oh, you know what? In this area of my life, I really have not put a lot of attention in it. I'm going to refocus on that. But give yourself a pat on the back. We beat ourselves up so easily so many times, but we don't give ourselves a pat on the back, right? Let's do that. Little rewards. So get rid of that negative nanny voice, that frenemy. Take a look at your inner circles. If they're negatives, get rid of them, because you're worth more than that, and they will take you down. And then work on, becoming that positive person for those in your circle as well. Becoming that one that's always a major, strong positive. And I'm not talking blow, smoke up your skirt type positive, like really helpful, constructive, help people build their dreams, help people stay on track, help people believe in themselves, help people see the best in themselves. Because I think that's what we're all here to do. I really think that's the purpose of life, is to help everybody live the most abundant life that you can in all areas of life. So thank you for letting me be vulnerable and telling you that I was like majorly down on myself and depressed and bummed, and share with you how I worked through that. And if you guys are in the Boise area and you want to know why I had this wonderful challenge, because I have so many great friends that are accomplishing so many great things. I met them, most of them, at Women Ignite. So it's next Thursday and Friday. You can get tickets at Women Ignite International. I'll be doing a short little speech as part of a group on, it's a beautiful pageant, and it's talking about true beauty, not what like our media and our marketing says beauty is. And then I'm on a panel of speakers having courageous conversations. So you can text in any question, and we're going to answer it live on stage. So I hope to see you guys there. Thank you, all of you, for being a part of my inner circle. And if you're on here, it's because I chose you. And if you're not on here, it's because you were negative and I blocked you. So you wouldn't know anyway. So, all right, guys. Love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful morning, wonderful Monday, and a killer week. So talk to you later. Bye.